All right, excellent. So again, welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us this afternoon for our Exploring Internships panel. We are going to be discussing different types of internships and the professional experiences in celebration of Internship Awareness Month, which is the month of April. The session, again, will be recorded if you're just joining us. So that recording has been started. And I am an employer relations partner with Southern New Hampshire University's Career Services team. I work with employers headquartered in the Mid-Atlantic states who are seeking to hire SNHU talent nationwide. I am joined today by representatives from our wonderful internship team, Hannah Royce and Jennifer Bachner. And these will be our SNHU internship subject matter experts today and moderators. And then we'll kick it off to our wonderful panelists who will introduce shortly. And first, we do want to let you know your experience here at SNHU is important to us. It's our policy and practice to create an inclusive and accessible learning environment. If there are aspects of this presentation's design or delivery that present barriers to accessibility, please notify. Online students can reach the Online Accessibility Center by emailing oac@snhu.edu or call 866-305-9430. Campus students that may be in attendance can reach the Campus Accessibility Center by emailing cac@snhu.edu or calling 603-644-3118. And then SNHU staff and faculty that may be in attendance, please reach the Human Resources Office by emailing hr@snhu.edu. Also, keep in mind, SNHU Career Services is a lifetime benefit included in your SNHU journey from that first day you register to 30 plus years after you graduate. So our team provides career support and guidance from resume reviews, mock interview practice, and job and internship search techniques, and much more. So if you need to connect with the SNHU Career Services team, that would be cocecareer@snhu.edu for job and career related needs, and then coceinternships@snhu.edu for internship related questions. You can also reach the Career Services team at 888-672-1458 to schedule time with an SNHU career advisor or internship administrator. And of course, events such as these and job and internship opportunities from employers seeking to hire SNHU talent can always be found on the Handshake job platform. All SNHU students have access to Handshake with your standard My SNHU login credentials. And additionally, of course, we encourage you to take advantage of all those different career resources and networking opportunities available throughout our nationwide and worldwide SNHU community on our internal social network known as SNHU Connect, as well as other various SNHU social media profiles. So enough for me. I'd like to introduce Hannah Royce to give some further insight about internships at SNHU. So Hannah, take it away.
Thank you so much, Dana. So some of Southern New Hampshire University's online programs require learners to complete an internship. The undergraduate required programs include health information management, fashion merchandising and management, sports management, and nursing. Our graduate required programs include public health, clinical mental health counseling, and the Master of Science in Nursing program. Now, students in other Southern New Hampshire University programs may also seek to complete an internship, either simply for experience or for academic credit if eligible. So we encourage you to check your eligibility to complete an internship for academic credit with your academic advisor and connect with the internship team for support. Internships can help you gain valuable experience in your field and can help you prepare for different jobs in your field. You can make different connections in your field and also add that internship experience onto your resume. Internships can also be helpful if you're not quite sure what you want to do with your degree, as they can give you an opportunity to explore your field. And even if you don't have time available to do a traditional internship experience, there are many other types of experience that you can pursue so you can gain experience to complement your degree. And we'll talk about some of those types of experiences today. You can learn more about internships and gaining experiences by going to SNHU Internships and Experiences FAQ webpage. And that is posted in the chat by Dana for you to access that link. And so next, let's say, hopefully, you are interested in completing an internship. So what do you do next? First, you'll want to reach out to your academic advisor to check your eligibility to complete an internship for academic credit and to determine the timing for completing an internship. Remember, if you're not eligible to complete an internship for academic credit, you could still pursue one simply for experience. Second, you'll want to complete the pre-internship survey. So we're going to be adding a link to the survey into the chat for you to reference. Third, once you submit the survey, an internship administrator will email you back more information within 3 business days. You can then schedule an appointment with your internship administrator if you need additional assistance. You may also be wondering how your internship administrator can help you. We tailor our support based on the needs of each specific student. Here are some examples of how we could assist you. We could help you prepare professional documents. So that would include reviewing resumes and cover letters if you're applying for internships. We could discuss internship search strategies with you. We can speak with you, help you brainstorm how you go about finding internship postings to apply for, or how you can go about directly outreaching organizations to inquire about interning with them. We can also help you prepare for interviews. And finally, we can guide you on how to complete the approval process through Southern New Hampshire University if you secure an internship and you want to pursue it for academic credit. I will now turn it over to Jennifer, who will be introducing our panelists.
Thank you, Hannah. And I'm excited to be able to kick off the panel portion of today's session and welcome our 4 panelists who have been patiently waiting to speak with everyone. First, we'd like to welcome Joseph Ferenciak from Vanguard. Joseph, if you could please introduce yourself and your current role and also share with us what internships you are currently hiring for at Vanguard.
Absolutely. Hello, everyone. My name is Joseph. I'm a university relations lead at Vanguard. So I do, quite frankly, university recruiting with my company. So what that really entails is what I like to call first wave recruiting, since my job is to connect students like yourselves to our recruiters. So that could be in the form of educating you on our company at career fairs, setting up classroom presentations, or even panel discussions like we're doing right now. So to answer the question of what internships we are recruiting for at the moment, actually, we're not recruiting for any at the current moment, but we will be in June. So when we do our internship recruiting, we do it a year in advance. So if there are any sophomores or juniors in the room, for example, or freshmen and sophomores actually, this upcoming June, our applications are going to go live both on our jobs portal, which I'll link in the chat, as well as on Handshake. So you'll be able to submit those applications and we'll be able to go through that interview process from there. Our internships are available in IT, finance, accounting, business leadership, investment management, and am I missing one? Data analytics.
Awesome. Thank you, Joseph. And that's really great to know that you're on that annual cycle. Very important to plan ahead sometimes for internships. Thank you. Next, I have the pleasure of welcoming Ed Maldonado to share more about hybrid internship options. Ed, please introduce yourself and your current role and tell us a little bit about what internships you're hiring for with Day and Zimmermann.
Yeah, absolutely. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for having me here today. My name is Ed Maldonado. I am a talent acquisition partner with Day and Zimmermann. It's a conglomerate based out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Like I mentioned, we're a conglomerate, so we're involved in various industries. We're involved in maintenance and construction. Our organization was heavily involved with the building of the Panama Canal. That's, I guess that's something that you can all recognize. We are involved in government services, where we do recruiting for the government for security purposes, global security, engineering, architecture. And then we also have our munitions department where we put together a lot of the munitions for the military. So a lot of the things that go boom, we put together and work very closely with the government. And then we have our workforce solutions, which is where I fall into place. I support specialty practices West Coast, and essentially I hire individuals for that support our clients, such as Apple, Google, Microsoft, Sony, Warner Brothers. So that's just a little bit about me and the organization. As far as internships, we hire for IT, HR, finance, supply chain, and corporate development. I'm sorry, and also for engineering and architecture. So right now, very similar to my friend from Vanguard. Our applications are not live yet on our website, but they will be here in the near future, probably around the same June timeframe. But yeah, that's all I have.
That's awesome. Thank you, Ed. It sounds like you've got a lot of exciting stuff going on there and definitely some fun clients. Yeah, so thank you. Next, I'd like to introduce Ben Ashpole. Ben offers unique virtual internships with his company. So Ben, if you would take a moment and please introduce yourself and your role and share a little bit about what internships you're currently hiring for.
Thank you. Glad to be here. So my background is in technology development. I used to do some government contracting, but have found a way to work on a company that unequivocally does good for a lot of good causes. We work mostly for nonprofits as an advertising agency, and we have a variety of internships open. Ours are on our website. I'll put a link in. I think you'll probably get it later as well. We have internships in business, digital design, human resources, marketing, software development, and technical writing. We have activities in all of these areas. We've been a remote company for, let's see here, going on 10 years at this point. So long before COVID, we realized the many benefits of working with top talent wherever they are, no matter where we are, and have been doing so ever since.
That's awesome. Way ahead of the curve on that, Ben. That's exciting. Thank you. And last but certainly not least, please meet Harrison Bass, who will share more. Oh, I think I'm echoing. Do you all hear an echo? Okay, that's better. No, that's
It was
not
from
better.
Harrison.
Oh, Harrison, you're echoing me. Okay. Maybe. Anyway, Harrison, please take a moment to say hello and introduce yourself and maybe share the top 3 most current or latest experiences that are available on the Forage platform.
Sure, excellent. Hi, everyone. I am Harrison Bass. I'm the head of educational partnerships here at Forage. We are an education technology company that partners with leading employers to create free open access virtual job simulations for students. The way that Forage works is we work directly with talent acquisition leaders and university recruiters to create these simulations for students. So that way they can really explore what it actually looks like to work at a company like JP Morgan or Accenture or BCG or Goldman Sachs, right? We partner with over 150 employer partners across the country. If you are interested in learning more about specific career pathways, Southern New Hampshire has an extensive career page through Forage that you are certainly welcome to utilize. And this is also a great way to stay informed and stay up to date about job openings and internship applications at our employer partners, who oftentimes will be hiring directly through the platform. In terms of new simulations that we just launched, we have several coming out with Fidelity, Bloomberg, as well as JP Morgan. So definitely check that out at the course catalog posted here. And if you have any questions, I'd be happy to help answer them for you.
Awesome. Thank you, Harrison. Appreciate that. Definitely some unique experiences with Forage, so I encourage y'all to check them out. Thank you, everyone, for your introductions. Today's session is all about how our students at SNHU who are exploring internships can plan, apply, and thrive with your particular organization. and to also discuss the types of internships that are offered. So in the introductions, we heard a bit already from 3 of our panelists about how you can apply for their available in-person, hybrid, and virtual internships. So I'm going to go back to you for another moment, Harrison, if that's okay. Could you provide just a little bit more context about the work simulation experience, telling us a little bit more about the average time frame and what's involved in an experience?
Sure. So forage experiences range from typically 2 to 4 hours to complete. They are project based. So we work with hiring managers to build out these simulations, and they are meant to showcase to you as a student what it actually looks like from both a technical perspective and a professional perspective to be working in both an internship or an entry-level role at these employers. So for those of you who are looking to get a taste of what it actually looks like, if you are looking to develop your skills, or if you're looking to bolster your resume and your portfolio, Forage is a great opportunity for you to showcase to employers that you have the technical professional skills needed to succeed on the job. And these are asynchronous, and they can be completed at your own pace as well.
That's great. Thank you for that additional context. And now to connect back with Joseph, Ed, and Ben. Joseph, can you tell us a little bit about when you're reviewing applications for internship opportunities, what really stands out to you and what are you looking for in those applications?
So of course, it's going to depend on the internship, since we're a larger company and therefore the different opportunities we have are going to look for different things. But say like focusing on more of the finance or business leadership, having experiences where you've demonstrated leadership, whether you're, say, a peer advisor, a tutor in school, if you're a leader in a club, for example, these are all things that can really help you stand out on a resume, since it goes beyond, say, the typical, like say the summer jobs you've had or say the coursework you completed. And by no means is that undermining either of those things, since those are equally as important. But when it comes to these positions, they can be pretty competitive. So the more that you have on your resume, the more of these unique experiences, the better off you're going to be. Now, some common experience, say if you wanted to go into, say, one of our accounting internships would be, say, if you were involved with the Vita tax assistance program, if you were involved with specialized accounting classes, for example, if you're with, say, if you want to go for our finance internship, say if you are familiar with Bloomberg, Morningstar, Tableau, et cetera. These are just some examples, of course. So those extracurriculars that you do beyond, say, what you do with your major are the ways that you can really help stand out on your applications.
Guys, those are some great insights. Thank you, Joseph. And Ed, could you provide your thoughts on that same question?
Yeah, absolutely. So we look for very similarly for individuals who have, are heavily involved as undergrads. Have they done any community service? Do they belong to any sports, any clubs, any fraternities, sororities? We look for those kind of things because it tells us a little bit more about that individual. This is a go-getter. This is someone who doesn't just, sit and wait for things to come to them. They're involved. And that's really what we're looking for when we're looking at applications, and that's just to for us to get on the phone with you. But when we're on the phone, I'm looking for charisma. I'm looking for motivation. How motivated are you? And another thing that's very important that I look for is your LinkedIn. Do you have a LinkedIn? I mean, not. At least for what I do, LinkedIn is very important. And if I'm looking for someone that's going to be doing similar things to what I'm doing, I'm looking for a LinkedIn. But if a LinkedIn is not necessary, I'm looking for a well put together resume, not something that you just put together in 15 minutes and send it out to someone. We understand that you're just graduating college, or you're a senior or junior in college, and you still have a lot to learn. But we look for those little things because it says a lot about an individual. So yeah. Hopefully I didn't take too long on that answer.
No, that's great. I'm so glad you mentioned LinkedIn. That's an important thing that we talk with students about. And also, I'll just make a plug for our career services team to all of you who are on the phone. These are the types of things that we can help you with, helping you to stand out a little bit on those resumes. Ben, I didn't forget about you. How about you? What are you looking for? What stands out in an application for you?
Sure. I think all the things the others have mentioned are nice to haves for us. For me, though, I'm looking for intrinsic interest. So we see a lot of folks who come in with a little bit of everything on their resume. And in some cases, they've been spread so thin, it's hard to tell what they've really come to care about and where they really want to grow going forward. So I want to see that they're able to follow our very detailed instructions to prove their reliability and their attention to detail. At the same time, is clearly express an intrinsic interest that resonates with what they're applying for with us.
Yeah, that's a great point, Ben. I think, sometimes we could spread too thin trying to get a lot on the resume and miss the point of what is really important. What are we focused on? So that's a great point. Thank you all for sharing that. I think what you're sharing too is a great tie-in to the experiences that Forage offers. So I'm going to come back to you, Harrison. Upon completion of the virtual work simulations with Forage, what would you say would be the top couple bonus or value adds to the experiences?
Yeah, absolutely. So one, when you complete the simulation with Forage, you are able, you're automatically sent a certificate of completion from Forage that's stamped by the company. This is something that you can include on your resume under skills and qualifications. If you have a portfolio of work that you've been building out while in university, this is also a great tool and reference point to add into that portfolio. In terms of speaking about the Forage experience, we have found that students who complete Forage simulations are able to bring those experiences into the interview process and speak concretely about how their skills can actually be applied in real world working scenarios. And so that's something that we certainly emphasize, is being able to think clearly about how your academic skill sets, so what you've learned in the classroom, will actually be used on the job. And it's a great way for you to frame those skills.
Yeah, those sound like some really great value adds, and I think our recruiters on the panel would probably agree that those would stand out. I do have one more question for Ed, Joseph, and Ben, and I'm just going to kind of let you choose who goes first. But this one is in relation to that point of thriving once a student is in an internship. What can they do to make the most of their time during their internship to put their best foot forward so they stand out for potential future full-time opportunities with your company? Anyone want to jump in? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I can go first.
Thanks.
We actually have an intern right now who is doing better than our full-time employees. So I could just tell you a little bit more about what he's doing and how he's standing out. So, just as an intern, every organization is very different, but at least for us, we give you the proper tools for you to be successful. We don't just, bring you in as an intern for you to just learn about us, or for you to just get coffee for someone. That's not what we do. We put you to work, and we hold you accountable to that. So we hired this individual as a remote recruiter. His background is in HR, and that's what he was interested in, and he is absolutely killing it. As a recruiter, you'll have your metrics that you have to meet. He is surpassing, going just above and beyond, and you can tell that he's doing this purposely because he's just not getting sleep or any social time, because we could just look at the numbers when we look in the system. So one thing that I will say, just pretend that someone is always watching you, do the right thing, and just go above and beyond. Always reach out to individuals, ask questions. Asking questions doesn't mean that you're dumb or you don't understand what's happening. It only means that you need maybe clarification on something, or so if you're asking questions, is definitely a great sign. We've had individuals just come to us and just, they'll do their job, but they really just don't stand out. And the ones that do are the ones that, again, are going above and beyond. And your internship is going to dictate what that is exactly. But make sure you're always asking questions, and make sure that you volunteer for something. So that's how this guy is doing it with us, and we're definitely going to hire him here soon. He doesn't know it yet, but we do.
Love that. Thank you so much. And what great points. Always do the right thing, asking good questions and going above and beyond. I think that holds true in everything you do in life, but especially important when you're trying to impress an employer. So thank you. Yeah. Joseph or Ben, did you want to chime in on that at all?
Yeah, I can go next.
Okay.
So one thing, and to kind of build off of Eduardo's point, is when you're doing an internship with us, the goal of that internship is to feed into full-time employment upon graduation. So say if you do one of our business leadership internships or our IT internships, the goal is to get you into our emerging leader development program or our IT specialized position or our technology leadership positions. So these are project-based roles during that 10-week period. And it's basically an interview during that 10-week period. Just as Eduardo was saying with his intern there, every day you're coming in, you're collaborating with your peers, you're working with your mentors, with your supervisor there, and you're really making a name for yourself as you're networking with senior leadership and all those throughout the whole company. In fact, even during our internships, you're able to get involved with our employee resource groups or crew resource groups, as we call them, since everything is nautical themed, where you can continue to make that name for yourself and network. And that's really the whole point of it, is to learn, to excel, to network, and to really get your foot in the door. And so that's what I would say is that's how you can really make that difference there.
Yeah, connections are so important these days. I mean, they always have been, but I think just now more than ever. So that's a great point you make, Joseph. How about you, Ben? Do you want to add to that at all? Share a little bit?
Yeah, for us, like I said, intrinsic interest is a great way to get in the door when that resonates with what we're doing. And then what you do about it when you're here is, well, what lets you stand out. So taking initiative with it, doing more than just what you're told, asking questions, being interested. Those are what takes a spark and lets it grow. And so for us, in some sense, it doesn't matter if you end up continuing with us or not. You're probably going to learn a lot about yourself, and that flame that you carry forward is what's really going to make the difference in your life, whether here or anywhere.
Yeah, that's great. That learning about yourself is so important. Learning skills is one thing, but knowing yourself is that self-awareness is critical to success in anything you do. So awesome. Thank you all. Those were some great insights, and that wraps up the moderated questions that I had for you. So I'm going to pass it over to Dana to share with us the questions that are coming in through the chat. Looks like it's busy in there. So Dana, do we have any questions coming in?
See. Thank you so much, first of all, to you, Jen, and to our wonderful panelists. It's been awesome to hear about these varied types of experiences and kind of offered to students to just gain those practical skills, from your companies and organizations. And I don't know, I think we've had a lot of chatter in the chat, which is great, of people kind of agreeing with the panelists and with everything
Yeah.
there. But if anyone has a question, this is the time to do it. I've enabled the microphones and cameras, so those were off when you may have come in, but they're on now. So if you want to use the raise hand feature, I can call on you, or you can jump right in if you have a question for a panelist. We're happy to have you have the floor. Isaac, I see your hand is up first, so go ahead.
Yes, I'm really interested in becoming internship because as of right now, I work at the hospital as a secretary/PCT, but I do have experience in doing accounting and stuff. That's what I'm actually going to SNHU right now for business and accounting. I graduate in February. So my goal is to do something either in accounting or finances area. I also have general manager and store manager experience as well. So my goal is to start an internship and hopefully it'll lead to a lifelong career.
Wonderful. And did you have a specific question for any of our panelists? We love hearing your story. And if you have any specific questions about a certain company, we'd love to hear that, Isaac.
I don't have a specific question other than I would love to give my resume out to all the ask. I also like to do tech work. I used to be in tech support for Apple and a couple other companies, and I used to have my own computer company. But I guess that's it. I just would like to put my resume out there. Anybody who wants to give me a link that I can send it to or whatever, I would appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. So what I can recommend, at least from my point, connect with our SNHU Career Services team, and I'm going to put their email in the chat here. But if you want to send your resume to be reviewed at all, and then our panelists here, if they don't mind, I know we had a couple of their LinkedIn profiles on there, or if they want to share the best ways to connect with them as far as the next steps, if you had should they apply on the website? Should they reach out to you directly for referral? What are the best steps for connecting with you all?
I provided my email in the chat. So if you're interested in Zimmermann or have any questions regarding our internships or careers, feel free to shoot me an email. Let me know. You can also find me on LinkedIn. And our careers page is always updated, and our internship job postings are coming soon. So, you can be on the lookout for that. Another thing that I do want to share really quickly, if I may, there's a new tool on LinkedIn where you can go to a certain company page and you are able to click I'm interested, and whenever there's job openings for that organization, or if that organization is looking for talent, they can easily see who that individual is who is interested in their organization, and it's a good way for you to network as well. So check that out.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Ed. We have a couple of other hands raised, so I'd love to pass it over. I see the next hand raised is Amber Stark. Amber, if you want to come on and ask your question.
Hello. My question is in regards to Harrison. I was looking at your website, or the website that you are talking about, and I'm interested in it, although I'm not quite sure exactly. Is it just more job simulations in the fields that I see, I'm actually going to be going into creative writing and English as a major, and I'm aspiring to be maybe an editor or a copywriter. It's just I'm not really seeing too much, but then again, I'm still looking. Is there anything that? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I would recommend thinking about a few simulations that could offer transferable approaches. So those simulations that might involve writing, professional communication, I would steer you towards Bloomberg Client Services and Client Engagement. Those both do have a strong written component, as well as BCG's Strategy Consulting can be another option for you.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Thank you, Amber. And I have another hand raised here. I have Mark Morrison is the next hand raised. If you want to jump on in.
Hello. So it's pretty much a question for everyone. So how often do you guys promote your internships? And I'm based right now in Georgia, so how would that work for me?
I can start and get the ball rolling with answering this one. So when it comes to our advertising, our internships, so as I mentioned in one of the questions there, we start recruiting in about June to early July. So that's when they'll all get posted. They'll get posted to Handshake to our jobs portal there. And then in about August, that's when we'll start, say, like running campaigns. So we'll be sending emails out to students that say fit the demographics, say like first and second year students who are in an applicable major. And then on top of that, say we'll distribute flyers, advertise in-house recruiting events, and then we'll start attending the career fairs once career fair season begins. So it's an ongoing process, and we continue to do it until the internships are filled. And they typically fill in about September, October, although some of them tend to take a little bit longer and may not fill until December, even January in some cases.
Okay.
Excellent. All right. And then anyone else on the panel want to jump in on that one, or we can go to the next question? All right, so here we go. I have another hand raised. Marissa, good to see that you made it in. I know we were chatting, so feel free to come on and ask your questions. Oh, I don't know if you're still on mute, but I saw some of your questions come through the chat, so maybe I can help out there. So I know you mentioned, do you offer internships for second year SNHU software engineer students? So IT tech support or software engineer entry level IT tech roles?
How do I unmute?
Oh, there you go.
Can you
hear
hear
me
me?
now. Yes.
Okay. Sorry for saying that because I'm like, oh, I'm trying to unmute and I get frustrated. Yeah, so I'm in my second year at SNHU. I already did an internship in 2019, but it got cut short due to COVID and budget cuts. So I'm just trying to, and I was in IT, so tech support, problem solving, helping out kids with the tablets. But now that I'm in my second year, I'm learning LA Techs, I'm learning Codio, Python, Eclipse. And I use GitHub so I can upload my projects, and then I have it uploaded to LinkedIn and on my resume so employees can look at my work as well. But I'm looking for an internship, something in software engineering, IT, fixing computers, problem solving, somewhere around Clinton or Hudson and Marlboro, or even remote.
Well, for us, what state are you in exactly?
Massachusetts.
Massachusetts. Okay. So for us, we normally just look at juniors and seniors for internships. And you mentioned you were a second year, correct?
Yes. Yeah, I just started my second year, and then I'll start my next course May 1st. I mean, I'm a straight A. I'm doing very well. I got projects. I got, I'm building up a portfolio as well. But I'm very ambitious. Like I'm in my second year, and I don't feel enough confident. And I'm trying to get a job at Intel. My main goal is to graduate in 3 years, get a job at Intel, and work as a software engineer. But I feel I don't have the confidence because my portfolio is not strong enough. I'm in my second year. I'm just building it up. And, it's hard to get experience if no one gives it to you. And it's not many software engineering jobs near Clinton. They're like in Waltham or Marlboro or Boston. It's like, okay, but I'm going to school at the same time. I'm trying to.
Yeah, and unfortunately for us, at least, we don't have anything specific to that area, or you would have to be a junior as well before we could move forward. And that's one of those things with us. We're really strict with the requirements that we've set forward. When bringing in individuals. But I'll bring that up because if there's a sophomore who's interested in an internship, why not?
Yeah, because like I said, I already did an internship. I'm just looking for a second one just to make my application stronger.
Yeah, and that's what you want to do, of course.
Right. I love it. I mean, when I solve these problems, like when I was working in one of my projects, like I'm taking an exam or whatever, I'm able to change the background to whatever color I want, and that was through an accident. And then I was able to change the text to whatever shade I want using HTML along with LA text. So I was able to solve that. I was like, oh my God, this is really cool. And I'm really good at it, but I love it. I'm like, I wish I got paid to do this. That's why I got into that field to begin with. I'm an artist. I thrive on creativity.
Keep that motivation. I promise you're going to find the right place.
If I may offer advice for especially the software world and also the IT world, start with that love you have and the confidence. Put it first. The experience and the knowledge will follow from the confidence, not the other way around.
Oh, okay.
By far the best programmers I've ever seen have this undying belief that they can solve whatever problem they're given, no matter how unreasonable that belief is. And by golly, that's most likely why they're able to do it ultimately. And then that builds the experience that then later justifies the confidence.
But a lot of these employers, they want 3 years experience. And it's like, well, how do you get your foot in the door if you don't have that? Like, I'm going to school for like, I'm in my second year, I got 3 more
Internships.
years. And how do you get
Internships. You're in the
internships?
right spot.
know,
You're in
And
the
look,
right spot, applying for them and showing your love for things.
if
sure.
start harassing recruiters on LinkedIn for the organizations that you're interested in.
Okay.
I get a lot of individuals always reaching out to me, and I'm like, well, I don't have an open position, but I always share their resumes because you never know,
Oh, okay.
and sometimes I'll share them and they get hired. I mean, you never know. So start reaching out to people on LinkedIn, tell them, about your interest, and, keep doing what you're doing. You're going to get there. You may have to
Okay.
start in a very entry level role, but you'll move up quick, with that type of work ethic and motivation.
I just feel lost though. Like, where do I even start? That's the thing. Like, I'm in my second year, and it's like in 3 years, I'm still not gonna be confident enough because, like, I'm trying to get internships, but it's just even some of them, they want 3 years experience. It's like, well, I get it. Like, I need someone to give me a chance because I can do it.
If I may, actually, it's funny you mentioned that because one thing I preach endlessly to any student that I talk to when talking about a job description is when it says 2 years experience, 3 years experience, it is the most subjective thing I think I have ever feasted my eyes upon. I'll give you a little confession, a little bit of insight. With my current job as a university relations lead, the job description said it wants between 2 and 3 years of relevant job experience in human resources. I came in
Yeah.
with 8 months of that experience. So it's not about, they're not going to look at your resume and be like, I'm seeing 2 years and 9 months of experience with this one. Sorry, we can't consider you further.
Or zero
Yeah.
experience, experience. Like I'll have education experience in a portfolio, but how am I still gonna get the job if I don't have anything to show for?
It's all about showcasing now I'm echoing. It's all about showcasing the experience that you do have from that previous internship that you have. And the fact that you are a second year student, you already have an internship under your belt, that should be the biggest confidence booster right there. I did not have my first internship until I was a senior in college, in my 4th year. So take that experience and run with it and really exploit that in your interviews and in your job applications when they're asking you those questions like, why are you interested in this? How do you feel that your experience is aligned with what we're looking for? Really hone in on that. Even though it's not 3 years, it could be 4 months, but
Yeah.
you could be working 1 hour a week. You could be working 5 hours a week. You could be working 37.5 hours a week. And that's why 3 years is so subjective, because there's no way to gauge it.
Famous business leaders often get interviewed about what they're looking for. How do they choose talent to build their amazing companies?
Mhm.
Look up their interviews on YouTube. I did. For me, for example, I was interested in what people like Steve Jobs and Bill Gates had to say. Whatever they say, whatever those people are that are inspiring you, exude that. And the other thing is to flip the table a little bit. You're interviewing the company as much as they're interviewing you. And if you keep that in your mind, I think you'll come across as a lot more confident.
But how do I get my resume to be selected just for an interview? Like, I'll apply to Intel, rejected. Apply, rejected. Like, how do I even get my foot in the door?
We have
Keep
a lot of
applying.
resources, Marissa. I can share this in the chat. So if you want to reach out to the SNHU Career Services team, they can help you with all the different types of tips, tricks, techniques, and really help you stand out. So, we would absolutely be willing to help out. So feel free to reach out to the email or the phone number. I do want to make sure we get some other questions in. So
Yeah,
really
thank
appreciate
you.
your dialogue and the panelists. And
Thank you
let's see.
all.
I had Christina raise her hand if you want to jump in with your question.
Yes, I would love to. Can you guys hear me? Yeah? Okay.
Yes, we can.
Perfect. So I was wondering what type of community services are like most common that you guys see, or what you generally look for when it comes to, I know that we talked about keeping it all within the same kind of direction, but I don't know, I haven't gotten really into any of that yet, community service or even really organizations within SNHU. So I was just wondering what kind of general things you guys are looking for. Personally, I'm an environmental science major.
For internships, I mean, we just look for any type of community service, or how engaged you are as an individual. So nothing specifically. I mean, if you're shooting for a certain industry, you could try and stay in the realm of that if you can, but I wouldn't turn down community service, any community service that you can put on your resume, if you didn't have to.
Sure. So that's kind of like the soup kitchen stuff, or just volunteering, or any kind of educational help around just my town.
Yeah, we just, we want to see that you are a busy individual, and that, that you're not, I'm trying to figure out how to say this in a nice way, but yeah, no, that you're just, not someone that just doesn't do anything. So any community service is good community service.
Excellent. Thank you.
Wonderful. And I want to make sure we get some of these questions that are coming through in the chat, because they're fantastic. So this might be a good one. I know we got some insight from Harrison regarding the work simulations, but as far as like the length of internships with our other panelists too, what does that look like for the, how long do those internships last for you?
We have various types of internships. We have internships for individuals, coming out of the military, that are transitioning out of the military. Those internships are different from, regular internships. Those could last 6 months. These normally would just last, if it's a summer internship, it'll last a summer, and so on and so forth. So you'll probably be looking anywhere from 3 to 4 months.
Yeah, and for our internships, it's a summer, 10 weeks full-time, which for us is 37.5 hours. They are paid opportunities, and we do have them fully in person, which I do like to specify, especially since we were talking with a group of online students here, but full-time.
Excellent. And I know, Ben, yours are kind of unique, right? They can start in different times. If you want to share a little bit more on that.
Yeah, thanks to Handshake, we offer our internships to about 1,200 universities all across the country, and they're all on different schedules. So we've developed a program with rolling start and end dates. So each internship position has a detailed syllabus with week by week activities and training, as well as weekly meetings. And that enables us to have rolling start and end dates. So we have an onboarding meeting for new interns almost each Thursday. And we have flexibility in how many hours per week, how many total weeks, and so forth. But the general guideline is that it's up to about 3 months for a full-time internship, or up to about 6 months for a part-time internship.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And while we're kind of talking about, how long the internship lasts and all the different opportunities you have, I had a question come through, and I know Ben was able to answer it in the chat with the question that we had for psychology majors, doing a remote experience or an internship for a psychology major. Do you have recommendations of kind of, what might fit for that arena?
From me, yeah, definitely. Marketing is often a great fit for psychology. People who like to think about how other people think tend to do well with writing. Of course, writing and English majors, as well as philosophy majors, often do well with that also. And there's some overlap in our business positions for the same kind of reason. You're often thinking about how people think.
Excellent. Thank you. And any other panelists want to answer that one too? All right. So I have Marissa and Christine. I have your hand still raised. Do you have another question or?
No.
Oh, okay. All right. No worries.
How do I just hit it, or just what do I do?
Yeah, if you click the raise hand again, it should lower it, but no problem. Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
And then another major related question. So for a cybersecurity major with a little over a year until they graduate. What kind of internship opportunities do you feel like there might be for that individual as far as kind of tech cybersecurity?
Well, that one gets a little bit tough for us since we do the recruiting a year in advance. However, what I will say is if you're going to be graduating in a year, come this June, you could actually just apply straight up to the technology leadership program or the IT specialized positions, since they'll hire a year in advance and then you'll have a job underway when you graduate. And we do offer, at least with the TLP program, one of the rotations can actually be in cybersecurity, and you can express that as a career interest as well.
But there's a lot of cybersecurity involved with Vanguard, Joseph, I can imagine, with finances and investments.
We touch upon it, yeah.
Wonderful. And Maurice, I see your hand just raised up. You want to go ahead?
How's my audio quality?
Great.
Thank you. I would like to take an opportunity to address Ben, please. I wanted to say that I'm very interested in an internship at Promoter Motor. I am working on my third college degree at the time. However, just like SNHU's president says that the world equally distributes talent, but it does not equally distribute opportunity. And I'm looking for that opportunity. I do have that passion and I have that desire. Another comment that I wanted to make to you, sir, is that your program caters to the adult learner. Your comments actually resonated with me, and I want to thank you personally for your time. One of the things that I would like to ask you is, do you have any stipulations regarding the requirements for the internships in regards to being full-time or a part-time student? Just to give you a little bit more background, the last job I had required me to work 60 to 65 hours a week, and I was still going to school part-time. Unfortunately, the company that I was looking at, they did not want to work with a part-time student. So I was overlooked for the internship before I even progressed through the process. So I would like to extend the same question to you, sir. Do you have any stipulations regarding enrollment status?
Yeah.
Well, first off, thank you so much for your kind comments, and I really appreciate that. We definitely put an emphasis on treating every intern as an adult, no matter their age, and helping them find their pathway into hopefully a career or a set of careers that's going to be really meaningful. As far as part-time or full-time students, no, we have no requirement about that, but we do care about your psychological well-being, your ability to get enough sleep at night. So if you have too many responsibilities between school, work, and perhaps family or other factors, we would strongly encourage you to think about that as to whether now is the right time for an internship. You know, the fact is that life is tough for a lot of folks, and they do have to do a lot of things at once, work a lot of long hours. I know at many times in my life I have too. And so we'll try to work with you if there's a good way to work with it. And we do find that some folks that are stretched surprisingly thin actually do really well. As long as this is the thing they care the most about. If they're thinking of an internship just like another bullet point for the resume, it's probably not a good thing to go for. In my opinion, if they're thinking about this as like, this is amazing, I get to do the thing that I think I want to do, then that's the best. And actually, that's another tip I have for getting your foot in the door with internships. Go find whoever it is you think that has the job that you would love, that would be your dream. Talk to them. That's a great way to get in the door as an internship or some other way. Find that, or don't waste your time on an internship that's a bad fit. That's time that you could be spending on finding that fit, that place, that person, and that would be time better spent, in my humble opinion.
Oh, may I respond?
Sure.
Oh, thank you for your time, Ben. I really appreciate your answering my questions. Going forward, I will definitely consider Promoter. I like what you said earlier. The interview process is a bi-directional process. meaning that I am interviewing the company and the company is interviewing me. And ultimately, everyone here in the chat and viewing this video wants to find that position that is a great fit for them. And your words, sir, were very inspirational. I appreciate your time, sir, and you have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Maurice. We appreciate you sharing that with us and those great questions. And I know we have just under 5 minutes now. So I had one question that stood out here. So I know we've been talking a lot about, first year, second year, third year. So do you all have opportunities or fellowships for graduate students that you might recommend?
We just have jobs for those individuals.
We do take interns from grad students, more often master students than PhD students, it seems. Depending on their background, they come from a spectrum of subject matter area specific to our positions. So sometimes it doesn't really matter whether they're an undergrad or a grad student.
Yeah, so one internship that comes to mind for master's students, especially say those who are in, say, computer science, would be our data scientist internship. So this one, we have a data analytics, which is catered towards undergraduates, and then data scientists, which is catered towards graduates, whether you're pursuing a master's degree, postmaster's certificate, or a PhD.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And one other, as far as international students, if you offer internships for international students, or Harrison, maybe you have recommendations from Forage, or if anyone wants to take that question too.
Yeah, for Forage, all of our simulations are completely open access. And so as you're looking to build your portfolio and build your skills and your experiences, certainly encourage you to work with Southern New Hampshire Career Center to get connected to specific simulations that might align with your interests. And then, of course, on the international side, always be looking for employers who I'm sure that your career counselors can also point you in the right direction of employers that you can connect with that would be a good fit for you.
Excellent. And I saw we have just 2 minutes left, Isaac. I saw your hand pop up. So for our last question, Isaac, I'd love to hear from you again.
Yeah, sorry. I went to the promotermotor.com website that you posted up here. And when I clicked on what I would like to do internship, it just gave me more reading. Is that the website I'm supposed to apply at, or because there's nothing there to apply to?
So if you go to one of the positions listed down on the page in any of the different departments, like software engineering internships or whatever, click on one of the positions. There's lots of details, and there are instructions for what we prefer for how you do apply. Part of our application process is to test each candidate's ability to follow our instructions. So we've intentionally crafted lots and lots of words for you to dig through to weed out the people who can't. So my apologies if that's too many, but that's a somewhat secret tip and insight on how we screen out people.
Okay, no worries. I just wanted to know because I couldn't see no link, so I just got to read it. All right, sounds good.
Perfect. No, and that's great. Lots of different tools and things used in the recruitment process, and being here to speak with the recruiters is all part of that networking and getting those inside tips and working with your career service team at your university to make sure you're putting your best foot forward. So we really appreciate the panelists' time, and want to give a big round of applause to Vanguard, Day and Zimmermann, Promoter Motor, and Forage, and our panelists today for being here. Thank you so much for your time, your knowledge, and of course, our wonderful SNHU internship team for hosting, and to all of our wonderful students that are here attending today. If you have any questions, I'm again going to share in the chat the cocecareer@snhu.edu email address. So I'll go to that slide as well. But you're welcome to connect with our team if you need any assistance with having your current resume reviewed or a mock interview or job search technique, either in Handshake or just really those tools and tricks that our team, we connect with employers all the time to learn about how they're hiring, what they're hiring for. So please feel free to lean on us. It's an included resource with your SNHU journey. And that's it for tonight. Again, thank you everyone and have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday.
Thank you. Great information.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for coming. Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks for having me. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.